Hi, I'm Georgia Tennant, and today I'm terrifyingly going to be answering your fan questions. The first question is, hi Georgia, I once read somewhere that you felt a huge pressure when playing Jenny on screen for the first time. If true, what would you go back in time and say to yourself to ease the pressure on yourself? Well, I did feel a huge pressure, yes. I don't think I would go back and say anything to myself. I think I might go back and suggest that I wore slightly less tight clothing. So I could have been slightly more comfortable, perhaps, might have said that. But I suppose also is that I think I probably would have gone back and gone, we only filmed it for a month, and it was a month that was, time flies very quickly when you're having fun. So I would have said, don't worry about the bit that comes after that, just enjoy it while it lasts, because unemployment is always just around the corner. Do you remember what it was like to record Red Dawn? That's really weird, Matt, because I was just having a conversation outside about... I've recorded that in 2000. So that was 21 years ago, right? That's good maths. I remember thinking I was going to be doing it with an American accent. I think because I was so young, I assumed that acting meant you had to put an accent on. And so when I turned up, I had assumed I'd be able to go, I'm going to do my character with an American accent. And then, of course, Nicola Bryant was in it, who had an American accent in the show. And so I wasn't able to do that. So it was the first time I'd ever acted in my own accent, because all my school plays I decided to put on a sort of a funny voice, because that's what acting is, right? Since you've done Doctor Who already, would you rather get a part in Star Wars or Star Trek next? I love that you think I know the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek. Okay, I think I would go with Star Wars because it's bigger. Is it? Next question. Love, Jenny, thank you. And your input into the Fiveish Doctors. Thank you very much. Will there be something similar for the 60th anniversary? I mean, like I would be able to tell you if there were. So, nice try. What do you like most about playing Jenny? Do you participate in the conception of the story? I do, yeah. It took quite a long time for me to sort of get on board with the idea of bringing Jenny back in some way, because I sort of felt like if I was going to bring her back, I didn't want to bugger it up. It took quite a long time to figure out what that story would be, and actually it was sort of quite a lot of conversations with the guys at Big Finish before we sort of landed on a concept that we all felt quite happy with. I wanted it to be funny. I've got a thing about things being funny. I think everything should be funny. It's not worth it otherwise. And fun and accessible for all ages. I feel like I wanted it to be something that our kids could listen to, and equally I could make my adult friends listen to, because that's the sort of friend I am. So right from the beginning, from the idea stage to now when we get new scripts and somebody listens to my notes. Maybe they don't do anything with them, but I do give notes. So yeah, I have been involved at every point, which has been lovely. It's such a lovely company to work for. It's not like they haven't been completely welcoming, which has been great. How do you think the 13th Doctor would react to seeing her daughter after so many years, and what adventures could you have together? I mean, I think she'd be pleased. I mean, would she be pleased? Well, she thinks she's dead, so she'd be surprised. Presumably, she'd be like, "Oh, you're not dead." I imagine that we'd have a really brilliant time. We may never know, or we may. But it would be the best fun ever, right? So, what adventures could they have together? Like feminist adventures, right? That's the right answer, isn't it? Yeah, it'd be great. They'd have a great time. What do you like better? Stories in which you travel to the future, or the ones in which you travel to the past? I would say the past, because I don't think I want to know what's going to happen, especially after what this year's given us. I'm really glad I didn't know what was going to happen. As a Who fan, I like watching the sort of ones that give you a bit of history, the historic-y ones. The Shakespeare Coteau I really loved. And the Family of Blood were some of my favourites. So that makes me think that going back is where I would want to go. Do you often get recognised in public, and for what reasons? Is the connection to David or Peter, or just the fact that you're in Doctor Who, or something else? Well, depends where I am. No, I don't get recognised in public. It so rarely happens that when it does happen, I think I've dropped something and that's why someone's stopping me. So no, it never happens. Or they think like that we know each other from somewhere. Like they'll go, do we go to the same gym? And I'm like, really? Sort of person that goes to the gym? What's the Tupperware situation in your house? It's a joke in mine. Well, don't get me started on Tupperware. I hoard Tupperware, but then people in my house lose the lids. So I spend sort of, I would say, 8% of the day looking for a lid of something that I do not have the correct matching bottom to. I also have the same issue with socks, which I think everyone has that, and pens and their lids. So very much that situation. There are screwdrivers and lipsticks. But which sonic devices would you choose for yourself and for Jenny? Could I have a sonic vending machine? So then I would have the choice of lots of different things. It's quite hard to carry probably, isn't it? But then at least I'd be able to be like, well, in this situation I need a C4. Yeah? I'm going to go with that. That's the end of my questions. So thank you very much for asking me them, and it's been fun.